Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? My name is Rob Carmona, and welcome back to another episode of Rob the Mic. First and foremost, I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, and thank you for being so patient for this episode. I decided to take yesterday off, Christmas Day, and at first, I wasn't going to because I had way too much going on, and I was like, man, I really can't take the day. But once I woke up, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It is what it is. Work's always going to be there. Shit's always going to need to get done. I need to be able to pull myself away because memories, whatever's in front of me today, that's going to take priority over everything. And I've been trying to, I guess you can say, be better about that. So I was like, why not practice it as much as I preach it? I'm always telling people, like, dude, don't put work first. Don't put work first. And on a day as important as yesterday, and I guess during this holiday season, right? Like, we have to kind of learn to put those things first. Because again, work will always be there. So had to practice that, had to make it happen. And I sit here now and I'm like, damn, I probably really shouldn't have taken the day, but it's all good. I was able to get caught up on most things, and it's going to be a long night, but it's worth it. And I love this. And I love that I'm able to sit here with you guys and going to give you some updates and talk about a few things. And it's always a good time. Always a good time, and I look forward to it. So appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for tuning in, for watching. Any way that you guys are taking this in, whether you listen, watch, however, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for spending the holidays with me, with your boy. So what we're going to jump into first is Saturday. This past Saturday, I went to the Irwindale closing extravaganza event, however they titled it. It was like some super long ass name. But I ended up going with a couple friends. And honestly, it was a great start to the day. It was myself, Albert, buddy Jose, Albert's girl, Yessie. We also met up with another buddy, Austin, Aaron. And it was one of those things that didn't really hit us until we started walking around on the track. But once we got there, we were kicking back. We got in really early. We got good spots. We had really great seats. We were able to watch some of the motorsport that was going on that day. But it was really, like, at first it wasn't that bad. And I'm telling you, once we walked out onto the track, once they had a bunch of the cars out that were going to be doing some derby, and they had, I forgot what exactly all the venue or what all the events were called, but they had like stock cars, they had like NASCAR style vehicles, they had like some trucks there, just a bunch of like little mini carts, like cool shit just everywhere. And at a certain point, they had all those out on the track. And people were able to go and just walk, take pictures, do whatever they wanted. And at that moment, I think it's when it kind of all hit us. Because we were like, dude, this is it. This is the last time we're ever going to be at this track. This is the last time anything's ever going to take place. Right? And we thought they were going to be running drag. And they weren't. Because I forgot. And I don't even know how I forgot. Because I remember seeing it on one of my buddies' Instagrams that the day of Moon Eyes, like that event, right after that, they started destroying the drag strip. And it completely skipped my mind because I was like, well, the one thing I'm really excited to see today is drag. But then I was like, fuck, that was it. Like, drag at Moon Eyes was the last drag. So, and I'm not sure. There was one event, I think that happened right after that. Or it might have been, I forgot when it was, but there might have been more drag after. But to my understanding, Moon Eyes was the last one. And I was like, damn, dude, we're never going to see drag like in Southern California again. And once we got there, we were like, dude, this is it. So we started walking out on the track. We walked, I would say, a majority of it. We didn't walk the entire track, but we walked a good half of it, which was cool. And the part that we walked was like one of the more, we walked the big ring. We walked the whole center part of the track, but then we also walked the big ring. And the cool part about the big ring where we were at is like, it's one of the most famous parts for initiation when it comes to drift, because like House of Drift was there and Formula and like everything that ran drift, any sort of event. This specific point is usually where you come onto track, and it's where you bank really hard and you just fucking get it all the way through the turn. And I got some pretty epic video. I'm really excited about that. Like, I recorded it on my phone. I didn't record it on my camera, but I recorded it on my phone. Got some really, really sick drifting video. And it was fucking sad. like it just, I don't know, it started to like hit me a certain way. And I didn't get emotional about it. Like I wasn't sitting there crying on the track, but it sucked. It sucked. It really, really bummed me out because I'm like, damn, dude, this is it. This is it, man. Like I'm taking pictures of the track. I'm taking pictures of whatever it is that I can, and just thinking to myself, like, I'll never be here again. I'll never get to shoot here again. I'll never get to, bring other homies to certain events, or, be there with clubs and doing like stuff with classic cars and all this. It's like, that's it. It's over. And you could see it like hitting certain people. There was people getting emotional all over the place, especially the racers, because it's a local track. It's famous. It's something that they've ran since they were kids, and some of them are now adults. And it's like, fuck, dude, this is gone. A piece of history is going down today. And I think the more that set in, it kind of let every single one of us like enjoy it that much more. But it was rough. But it was also really cool. Like we were able to capture really, really, really dope group photos. I got some really great photos of myself. I got some really great photos of Albert and Yessie, and Albert by himself. And it's all of those photos and all of those moments mean so much more now, because it was with certain people and like those things, and the fact that you could see the track in the background. And like we got a really dope ass group photo of all of us in like Irwindale Speedway, up on basically on the big ring. It says Irwindale Speedway at one point. And we have a group photo in front of that. And it's like fucking sick, dude. Fucking sick. Because now, when the homies' kids get older and we're talking about drifting and we're talking about, basically everything that was motorsports here in Southern California, we'll get to mention these type of things to them and show them photos and be like, oh, dude, I was here with your dad. This day was crazy because they did X, Y, Z and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what more do you want? So I like really wanted to live in that moment for Saturday, but it was really tough because it was sad at the same time. So it's hard to enjoy something, but then you're like simultaneously sad, and you're just fighting yourself, But it was fucking amazing. And shouts to Albert for making that happen for me, because it wasn't something that I was planning on doing. I had some other plans for that day, but originally I had thought about going to this event, and then it just didn't work out. Like I didn't grab a ticket. Things were a little too crazy, and that kind of slipped my mind. And when he turned around and was like, dude, I got us tickets. We're going. And again, who I was there with made it that much more special, and that it was homies that I've built cars with. It's homies that build right now, that tune super fucking hard. You know what I mean? Like guys that I really am honored to call family, people that I can look next to and just be like, damn, dude, like these fools tune just as much as I do. Like we're the ones out here holding shit down. We're the ones who were out here doing shit then, and we're still doing it now. Every single one of us that was there. And it felt sick, like to be a part of that and to have that part of the culture ingrained in what we do. And it was tight because the one thing that we wanted to see was drift. And it was a bummer because to me, there wasn't enough of it. But I get it. Drifting is big, but it might not be the biggest fucking thing that's out there, right? It's a very specific, very niche type of motorsport. But I'm so glad that I got to experience and see what I did, whether it was like practice, whether they were doing runs, whatever it was. Like I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I got to witness what I love here. And for me, it was always drag or drift. One of those two things. If I was at Irwindale, it was one of those two things. Hands fucking down. So it was sick. It was sick. A lot of memories were made. A lot of smiles were had. And it's things that I'll never forget. For sure. And it's cool because now the things I reference the most in my head is just those pictures. And even now going back and looking at stuff that I've edited, that I've shot there, like all of those pictures mean so much more. Because it's like, fuck, dude, I had the honor of catching this here. Like, for example, I was telling you guys about my homie Oscar and Rosie that got engaged, and I shot their engagement photos there. Now those photos, aside from it being very, very special, right? Like the last Moon Eyes, them being engaged. And now it's just like, it was at that track, and it's never going to be there again. No one's ever going to be able to shoot there again, right? So there's so much weight. And I know maybe some of this sounds repetitive, but it's hard to get out because I'm like, damn, dude, I don't really know how else to fucking say it. There's such a weight with that. And it's cool that I was able to be a part of at least some of the major events that went down, whether it was Moon Eyes or whether it was this like closing ceremony with the homies. It was an honor to be there. And I'm really glad I got to experience it. And then from there, I feel like the day was kind of it just was fucking flying because I flew my ass home. I had to eat, shower, get ready, and then I was taken off to a Christmas party. And the Christmas party was for Genocide. For me, I mean, I fucking love those guys. I love all of them. And when Bams reached out to me a couple weeks ago and was like, hey, bro, we want you here. We're going to party it up. We're going to have a good time. And I was like, okay, for sure. And when I saw the date at first, I was like, fuck, dude, how am I going to make this happen? Because at that time, I was still planning on going to the Irwindale event. But when I thought I wasn't going to make it, you know what I mean? Like shit started to change up and I was like, all right, whatever. But once I got that invite, I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. Like whether I got to move stuff, whatever I got to do, I'm going to fucking be there. I don't care where the party's at. I don't care what the fuck it is. Like I'm going to be there. At some point, I'm going to get my ass there. So when I got home, showered, got ready, and dipped out, it didn't really hit me. Like I was excited and I was on my way there. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, oh shit. I'm like first date nervous. You know what I mean? I'm going to go kick it with all these people that I really fuck with and that I look up to, that I respect, that have put me on and given me a shot to prove myself. And I've proven myself over my work through the type of person that I am and all kinds of things. But the fact that all of that has put me in this position to spend the holidays with these people that I love and care for, and that they reciprocate that and show me that. And it's heavy. So the day was heavy, right? Like I had one thing for motorsports and I'm like, fuck my heart, like tugging at all the strings. And then spending the holidays with people that I fucking, like, I love, I really do care for. I look at these people and the way I get excited to see them is like, oh God, dude, it's the fucking best. It's like seeing family that you don't get to see all the time. And granted, I see them as often as I can. And even then it doesn't feel like it's often enough, but spending the holidays with them and having this party was fucking amazing. Every ounce of it, from the second I got there to the second I went home. And I was struggling going home because I didn't want to fucking leave. And I was like, yo, it's fucking 2 a.m. I gotta get my ass out of here because I got a long drive home. And even then, it was, again, every second of it was fucking worth it. I loved it and I do it again. And I'm looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to all the things that we have ahead of us because there's bunch of shows coming up, one big one, but either way, it doesn't even have to be a show. It's just getting to spend time with these people, getting to laugh, getting to fucking share stories and hear different things and shoot the shit and just make those core memories, right? Like it's an honor that I got to spend my holiday with them, because for me, I don't remember the last time I went to a Christmas party. Like, I mean, I've been to them before, but it's not something that, like, I haven't thrown a Christmas party in a very long time. I think the last thing I threw was probably like a New Year's party. But like, there really wasn't anything going on. And I don't know this year if it was just because there was so much shit, like that no one that I knew was really doing anything. I think everyone was just kind of trying to stay afloat. But this was the perfect release, and I needed that. So shouts to Bams and everybody at G, every fucking person, like all of y'all. Like there's no way that I could put it into words how much this fucking club, like what they mean to me. And I'm very, very appreciative to be included in all this stuff and everything that they do. And that it's like, hey, we want you here too. You know, so anytime I can be there, I'm always going to be there. So it was an honor and it was a great fucking way to start. I mean, my holiday, I feel like that was my kickoff for the holidays. And it was a rough holiday, I can say. You know, not like that day specific. That day was my fucking highlight. I was like, oh my God, this is like my fucking Christmas. But, everything after that, it was a roller coaster for sure. It was a roller coaster, but like, fuck, I guess we'll just get into the roller coaster of it. Like a part of it, aside from, having issues with family, I think everybody's still kind of processing my uncle's passing. I mean, it's our second Christmas without him, but with his birthday that just passed, I mean, it still leaves everything kind of raw. So it was hard for multiple reasons, right? Again, aside from the family bullshit, you know, whatever it is that we were arguing about or whatever the fuck was going down, whatever tension was present, we were also thinking about that. We're thinking about other things. And then on top of it, dude, we ended up losing power. So I know it was like my city. I forgot how many people. I think they said it was like 40,000 people that were affected. So it was like Downey, Norwalk. I know some parts of Whittier, Pico, a bunch of different areas that were just knocked the fuck out. And I don't want to say this as like a blanket, but I feel like a lot of Latinos tend to celebrate it on the 24th. So for us, like, we celebrate it on the 24th. Not that we don't celebrate Christmas Day, because we do, but we usually just kick back. Like, it's more of like a chill day. And the 24th is usually more of the day where like everybody kind of gets together, we eat, we kick back, and it's the same type of thing, but more of like more party, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to have a good time type shit. You know, drinks flowing, food's out there. So doing it in the dark was really fucking different. And on top of it, we didn't have all of our food done. And we honestly couldn't cook a lot of the food because it was like, well, now fuck, we don't have an oven. And it had gone out, I think, at like 1 in the afternoon, or like close to 2, something like that. And at first they were like, oh yeah, hey, power's going to come back around 5. We're like, okay, cool. Power's coming back at 5. Then it got pushed out to 8. And I think it got pushed out to 9. And then it was 1 a.m. And then from there, it was crazy because it got pushed out to the 26th. So it's supposed to be today at 1 p.m. And thankfully, power ended up coming back like around 3 a.m., like Christmas Day, which for here was kind of a rude awakening because the smoke detectors here that I have at the house are wired into the house's power. So they had just been kind of tripping and going on and off between like battery power and the power issue that we were having. So once the power came back, that's how I woke up Christmas Day, was just the fucking smoke alarms going off. And I'm like, oh shit, dude. And so I'm like half asleep, trying to get, the whole thing situated, put the batteries in the smoke detectors so everything will kind of calm the fuck down. Because we had to remove them. It was a whole fucking thing. Just trust me on that. It was a whole ass fucking thing. But regardless, we had our Christmas Eve in the dark, and it was kind of a bummer. Made the best of it. But did it add to the stress of it all? It did, for sure. Nobody in the house wanted to like get anything to drink. Because, we didn't want to keep opening the fridge. We didn't want to get certain things. We didn't want to get snacks because it was like, fuck, dude, we're going to have to keep opening and closing the fridge. And at that point, it was already later in the day. So it's like, dude, it's not like we can run to the market and go get ice or run to the liquor store and go get ice. A lot of shit's already closed at this point. So we're trying to make do with what we got. And it's like, well, we got some water and we got a couple things that we can eat that are somewhat done. At least we can kind of finish it off on the stovetop. But it was a lot of pivoting. And at the end of it all, it's like I told my mom, I said, look, dude, shit could always be worse. We could not have a house. We could not have any food. We could have nothing to drink. We could have nobody to be here with. We could be here on our own. Like each of us individually. I could be God knows where. You could be God knows where. There's all kinds of shit. And no matter how fucking bad it felt, and no matter how fucking pissed I was, or how, you know what I mean? Whatever I was feeling, it didn't fucking matter. Because you got to strip things down, right? As bare minimum as you can. And it's like, well, at least we got each other. At least we have some pan that's right there on the table. At least we got some ham. We could have neither of those things. So fuck it. Let's talk. Let's enjoy this time. Let's light some candles and just kick back. And that's what we did. That's what we ended up doing. We ended up throwing on some music. I forgot that. So I have this Bluetooth speaker and you can charge your phone on it. So I was like, okay, perfect. We have something. I was like, my mom was able to charge her phone. I had already had a piece from my camera, like an external battery that I can run charging off of. I had that on my phone. So I was like, cool, at least we have sources of power. Let's put on some music and just kick back. Able to kind of set the vibe, just chill. And it was cool. It was fucking cool. But it was rough. It was rough. It was different. It was really, really different. And like certain people were offering, hey, dude, especially like those people that were outside of those affected grids, are like, dude, just come by. And we're like, nah, it's cool, man. Like, we're just going to kick back. Because this is what we need to do. Like, we just want to be chilling right now. And I think that's a big part of Christmas, right? Everybody just kind of wants to kick back. It's one thing to go from house to house and go from family to family, and that type of shit can be fun too. Don't get me wrong, because I kind of love doing stuff like that. But I think with just the way that the day was panning out and the way that everything had kind of unfolded, it was like, nah, dude, I just want to kick back at the pad. You know what I mean? So once we waited up until midnight, everybody said, Merry Christmas. And then we just kind of made our way back upstairs. I was kicking it with my mom. I had just a little lantern, shooting the shit. And I remember just coming back into my room. I put on some music and I dozed off. And then was violently awakened by the fucking smoke alarms. But, it's cool. Again, it's cool. Shit could have been way worse. Way fucking worse. So I'm stoked about it. Like, I'm glad that we were able to make the best of it and things worked out. And I know, at least like for me, like I thought about it as if like from my childhood self, it's like he would have been stoked that somebody was kind of able to save the day. And it's like, oh, he had these tools and he had these things. And it was funny because I even talked about it with Sebastian. And he has a bunch of camping shit. He's like, camping lights and stoves and fridges and power bank and all this. And he was so stoked because of all of his stuff that he has, that essentially saved his family's Christmas. And not even essentially, like it did. Because of him, they had light. They had a freezer. They had power. And they were able to kind of, make coffee and make little things and power up a microwave and warm up food and just kind of do that whole thing. And it's like, fuck, dude, this is sick, right? So granted, everybody had to pivot and it was a pain in the dick, but it's worth it. Because now we all have a story. It's like, dude, we all remember that one Christmas when nobody had power and there was like 1 billion people that were affected by it. And we're all kind of like, what the fuck do we do now? So it's like, it's sick, dude. It's sick. And then Christmas Day, I went over to Sebastian's house and we were going to work on the Jeep. And we worked on this Jeep and got some stuff done to it. Well, I guess, yeah, it is his Jeep. I was like, his dad's driving one of his Jeeps right now. So we're working on that, switching out some lighting, which was fucking cool. Love doing that. And then we ended up working on shit at the house, on some more lighting and doing some wiring and just getting things all cleaned up, tidied up. And it was cool. Kicking back with his family, having some food, laughing, talking about the day before, being like, fuck, dude, I can't believe we had this shit in the dark. It was rad. It was rad. And they're memories that I'm never going to forget between my Christmas Eve and my Christmas Day. And it was tight because I even told Sebastian, I said, dude, there's something about today that I was so excited about. Like just to work on the truck, just to kick back, be out in the garage. And he's like, dude, we got to make it like a new tradition, like starting now. Every Christmas, we find shit to do, on the cars and we just kind of wrench all day. And I said, yeah, man, honestly, like, I love that. Like, there's something about wrenching that kind of brings me peace. And I know it's funny because a lot of homies that support this podcast and watch it and listen to it, however they take it in, they all wrench too. Or they're mechanics or, you know what I mean? So, and they probably laugh because they're like, fuck, dude, they do this shit all the time. But we don't have a lot of time to work on our own cars, on our own trucks, on our own personal vehicles. And when we do find that time, there is something really special about that. So it's like, imagine sharing that on a day like Christmas, where everyone's kind of kicking back at home and, you just to chill, have some drinks and wrench here and do this and change this out and do that and service this. Like, it's fucking cool. I think as an automotive enthusiast, as somebody who live, eat, breathe, sleep cars, that's the shit I want to do. Right? And people asking like, what do you do for the holidays? What do you want to do for Christmas? What do you do for Christmas? That's the type of shit I like thinking about. Because it's like, one, I want to kick back. I want to eat. I want to spend time with people I love and I care for. But I want to do something that I really want to do. And aside from cruise, I want to work on my car. I want to work on my truck or on somebody's car or truck or something. I want something in that realm. I want that to be a part of that. And it's like, why haven't I done that in the past? I don't know. Like, I have my New Year's Day traditions of just, washing my cars, giving them a detail, just kind of starting off the year that way. But this is like one step further, I guess you can say, or it's kind of like the precursor to that, right? Button things up and get it ready, and even this weekend, I'm stoked because I have a trip that's coming up on Sunday. It's a day trip, but I'm really fucking excited about it because it's Calico. So I've done it before. It's an awesome trail. It is really aggressive, but it's a really good time. And I'm going to be out there with Sebastian and a bunch of Jeep homies and just kind of shooting the shit, having one more trip before the year end. And it's like, that's what we need. That's what I need, right? Like, I need that one more disconnect. One more before we jump into a fresh year and kind of get things moving and get the ball rolling a certain way, because I don't know. I feel like something's different. Like, things are starting to change for me, both career wise, like personally, in multiple aspects of my life. I feel like something's kind of moving, and like I'm coming into like a new version of myself, because I notice that I treat things differently. I'm starting to shift importance and be like, okay, this needs to be here. This needs to be here. Push this back, push this aside, bring this forward, however I need to do. But I'm definitely hyper aware of that. And I didn't used to be. So I don't know what's coming this year. I don't know what's going to get thrown at me. I don't know what the fuck anything, about anything that's going to happen, right? And none of us do. None of us have any sort of insight as to what's going. You think you can work towards something, but you never know what's going to come of it all, right? But I need one more. And it was funny because when Sebastian and I were talking about it, we're like, dude, we want to do one more trip before the year end. And then when this one came up, even though it's quick, he's like, dude, we got to do it. I said, yeah, no fucking doubt. There's no doubt. Like, we have to do it. There's no way that we can't fucking do it. Right? Let's go hit Calico. Let's go chill out. We'll do Ghost Town. And that's it. We'll drive our asses home and just kick back and fucking live our best lives. And I'm excited for that. And I hope that you guys, everybody, all of y'all watching, listening again, however it is that you're taking in the podcast, I hope that you guys can find something to help you disconnect before the year, to get one more just kind of like reset, a fresh start type of thing. Whether you go on a hike, whether you go on a little drive somewhere, you go up the coast or you go to the beach or whatever, head up to the mountains, just fucking do something. Give yourself, your family, your friends, whoever it is that you want to share it with, or even just for you by yourself. Give yourself that moment to do that. Give yourself that moment to experience that shit. Go find just some time that you can be by yourself. Chill out, reset, recenter, and get ready. Right? Because who knows what the year has in store for us. And there's so much that can be spoken to about that, right? I think we're not even going to get into it, but I am going to say there's a lot that's coming at us, at everybody. And you're going to do the best that you can with what you got. But please find your moments that you can step away for a second. Give yourself that time, give yourself that energy, and put yourself first. The holidays are always a time where we tend to put people before us, right? And that's okay. I think it's cool to be selfless like that and put others before yourself. Like, it's important to understand when to do that. But there's also a very, very important time that you have to make time for yourself. And I'm not saying you have to do it before the new year type of thing, but I think it's important around this time. Again, practicing selflessness is one thing, but then also practice self-care at the same time. And find, even if it's like minutes that you can do it, or a couple hours, or if you can spend a day, do shit for yourself. Make time for yourself. Because right now is very fucking important to do that. You got to realign. If you're not good, how are you going to be good for other people, right? You keep pouring into other people's cups, you're going to be empty. You have to be able to pour into yours too. You need it. You got to keep your cup full in order for you to give to other people. So prioritize that shit. Prioritize your self-care. Put yourself first. Do it as best as you can, even if it's moments a day. And coming into the advice, I was like, fuck, man, like I don't really have anything like super profound. I feel like there's nothing that needs to really be said other than this. Put the people you love in your life first, because work will always be there. And I had mentioned this earlier in the episode, and I'm just bringing it back. Put the people you love in your life first. The people that you care for, the ones you want to spend time with. Make the time to make those memories. Put the time into it. Work is gonna fucking be there. You can handle that when the time comes. For myself right now, like, I'm glad I did what I did. I'm glad I stepped away for the moments that I was able to, because I was able to make memories with people I love and care for. So shouts to that. And I'm glad that I actually let myself do that, because I didn't think I was. I didn't think I was going to take days off. I didn't think I was going to be able to step away. But when you set that boundary, you're like, fuck it. Whatever happens, happens. I need to go laugh. I need to go smile. I need to go give hugs, and just put this first, because this is the shit that matters. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, for giving me the time on your holidays. Again, however it is that you take in the cast, I appreciate you guys and all your love and all your support. It means the world. And I wish you guys a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays. And because I won't see you guys, I'm not going to be recording for New Year's. New Year's Day, I'll probably have something. But since I won't see you guys before then, I want to wish you guys a Happy New Year and wish you all the beautiful things, all the best of everything. And I hope you guys experience all of it this year. So I appreciate y'all, love y'all, and I will catch you guys on the next one.